Srimati Lakshmi Devi, the Supreme Goddess of Fortune. We understand that it's mentioned in the Puranas that this place is a very beautiful place with fruits and flowers, and especially the bale fruit, which is usually offered to Lord Shiva, and that this is a place where Sri Krishna came with the cows, and his brother Balaram and cowherd boys and performed many wonderful pastimes. But regarding the story behind this place, it's a very deep tattva and very important for Vaishnavas to understand. We've heard from Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu that he says, Emona Kripala Nahi Suni Trubhavane Krishna Premahaya Yatra Dura Darshane. That Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so powerful and his mercy is so great that anyone who even sees him from a great distance can be inundated with ecstatic love of Godhead. And that was the mood of Mahaprabhu when he secretly left Jagannath Puri and started his South Indian tour. Goswami Maharaj explains in Chaitanya Charitamrita that the whole of South India at that time was in the grips of dreadful philosophies, like the jaws of death, of crocodiles and sharks, of Jainism, Mayavadism and Bodhism. So it was Mahaprabhu's merciful intention to travel to every place in South India and spread Harinam and deliver those fallen souls from the grips of the jaws of death. So basically, he went to many places, and it says in the Chaitanya Charitamrita that every place he went to became a Mahatirtha, a major holy place because of the touch of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Usually people go to holy places and they leave their sinful reactions. Therefore the holy place is like a hospital, and the holy person, the Tirtha, in human form comes there, he's like the expert physician, and he maintains the purity of the place by his presence there. So he went to Udupi, he went to Kanyakumari, he went to Serubanda, Vanchipuram, Kanchipuram, Nasinga Hobala, and then finally, after many travels, he also went to Tirumala and Tirupati, and then he went to Srirangam. And on his arrival at Srirangam, he took bath in the Kaveri, and Mahaprabhu was very, very pleased. He had darshan of the Supreme Lord Sri Rangaswamy and in his Vishnu incarnation. And after his stay there, he met the brothers of the Tirumala Bhatta, Venkata Bhatta, and their other brother who was already a sannyasi in the Ramanuja Sampradaya, Prabhupada Sarasvati. And of course, Venkata Bhatta was the father of Gopal Bhatta Goswami, who is said was probably a small boy at the time of the visit of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he stayed with those persons, he was very happy with the hospitality and affection from Venkata Bhatta. And they developed a loving and friendly relationship. And he was also very pleased with the standard of worship, because in the Ramanuja Sampradaya, there is Ishtadevis, Lakshmi Narayan, and he did everything to worship them with great affection and great care. So this pleased Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very much. And after some time, when they developed a loving and friendly relationship, they were joking together. And Mahaprabhu said, "Oh, my dear friend, your Supreme Goddess of Fortune, Lakshmi Devi, she always resides on the chest of Sri Narayan. And she is the most chaste and glorious of all women in the universe. Yet, she had the desire to associate with Sri Krishna and dance in the Rasa dance." This is a hard thing for me to explain. So Venkata Bhatta, he was hearing this from Mahaprabhu, and then also Mahaprabhu cited some scriptural evidence. He quoted one verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, which established the fact that Srimati Lakshmi Devi had to perform hard austerities into the place where she came. That verse is Kasyano Bhavo Sanatdeva Vidmahe Tavangrideno Parashari Kara Yadvino Haya Shri Lalancharatabo Vihaya Kaman Suchiram Durata. Oh Lord, Nagapatnis are speaking, wise of Kaliya. We do not know the serpent Kaliya attained such an opportunity to be touched by the dust of your lotus feet. Even the goddess of fortune for this end performed austerities for centuries, giving up all other desires and taking austere vows. Indeed, we do not know how the serpent Kaliya got such an opportunity. So the fact is, it's explained there that it's very, very difficult to enter the Ras Leela and to get the association of Sri Krishna in such a way. Although in the subsequent conversations with Venkata Bhatta, Mahaprabhu says to him that it's actually very easy to get the association of Sri Krishna in Rasa Leela. And he quotes the example of the Shruticharyas. But he explains also that the gopis are the highest attendants of Sri Krishna, and even though all other great sages, munis and yogis are aspiring to attain Brahma Vidya, they're doing austerities, controlling their minds and senses, returning their consciousness into their Paramatma, and realizing Paramatma and then trying to enter Brahman. The gopis, their only desire is to be embraced by the strong arms of Sri Krishna, which are like serpents, and this is the thing which is going to give them complete satisfaction. This is also Nayam Shriyo Nya Uninantarate Prasada Swayoshitam Nalina Gandarucham Kudunya Prasod Sabesya Bujadanta Kriti Kanta Labdas Shamya Uddayat Vrajasudarinam. So that bodily luster and aroma of the ladies of the heavenly planets is so glorious that they're like lotus flowers, and the worldly women are very attractive, but even they are not qualified to enter into the ras. So it's a very, very hard thing to enter into ras for people who are not gopis. And we also got the example again, I was just mentioning that the Shrudicharis, the Upanishads, the personified Upanishads, they also tried for many, many ages performing austerities to attain that high state of ecstatic union with the Supreme Lord. But only after they took birth as gopis in Braj and took a gopi form were they able to enter the union of Rasa Leela. So this is explained by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Venkatabbata, and he was very astonished. And of course his mood became a little crestfallen. And the other thing that he said to him was Nayanam Sukalpo Bhagavan Dehinam Gopika Sutta Janinam Chatmakutanam Jata Bhaktimatam Miha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Son of Mother Yashoda, is accessible by those devotees engaged in spontaneous, loving, devotional service. He is not easily accessible to mental speculators, those striving for self-realization, or those performing severe austerities and penances. So this may apply to Srimati Lakshmi Devi. She's performing many, many severe austerities and penances, but she cannot attain the Rasa Leela. And Mahaprabhu asked this question, why? He explains that she could not give up her Abhiman as a supreme goddess, as a chaste wife, as a Brahmani, and therefore she had to come to Braj. One time Sri Krishna heard of her austerities, and he came here to visit Srimati Lakshmi Devi, and he said, well, you can gain interest to this Ras, it's okay by me, because, you know, being a chaste wife of Narayan, you understand that I'm not different from Narayan, so there's no loss of chastity or anything like that for you, but to enter the Ras is a very special thing. You have to attain a gopi form. You have to live in the Braj, Mandal, you have to take birth in a village, in a family of cowherd persons, and you have to collect cow dung and make patties and cook, and you have to also marry a cowman, a cowherd man from an ordinary class of cowherd agricultural persons. And in this way, then you'll be qualified to go into the shelter of my other gopis. They'll train you and you can enjoy the rasa dance. And we know from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Braje Lokera Bhave Payatanara Charana Tantrishvara Karini Vrajajana, that the people in Braj Mandal, they don't see Krishna as a Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayan. They see him as their beloved son of Nanda Maharaj. And this is the same mood that they have to also take up. So can she forget that she's the wife of the Supreme Lord, Vaikuntha Padni Narayan? This is the challenge for Srimati Lakshmi Devi. And when Nayam Sukapo Bhagavan Dehinam Gopika Sutta Janinam Chatnaputanam Yata Bhukti Mataya Nayam Sukapo Bhagavan. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also quotes this verse as being written by Vyasadeva to make the point again that one cannot enter into Rasa Leela, one cannot even enter into Braj Mandal and associate with Sri Krishna unless he takes the form of a gopi. So this is very astonishing for Venkatabbata. In the end, he realized that Krishna is a Supreme Personality of Godhead, but he felt very sad, so his lifelong worship had been affected. And Mahaprabhu then pacified him and said, you shouldn't worry, because we know from Srimad Bhagavatam and so many sources that Te Changsar Kala Krishna's Tu Bhagavan Swayam, that Mahaprabhu is actually, or Sri Krishna is the original form of Godhead, but he has unlimited expansions of Advaita Machutam, Nadim Anantarupa, Madhyam Purana, Purusham Naviyovanam Cha, Videshu Dulamam Adulma Bhakto, Govinda Mani Purusham Tamaham Pajami. He explained that most incarnations are either expansions of the plenary portion of the Purusha avatar. So you shouldn't worry. So then Venkatabbata, he fell at the feet of Mahaprabhu, saying that because you've explained everything very clearly to me by just giving me the truth, I've seen Krishna, and now because I've seen your lotus feet, I've been able to understand this very, very high tattva. Mahaprabhu also explained that even Krishna himself, what to speak of Narayan, Krishna himself, he wanted to play a game with the gopis one day, so he assumed a four-armed form of Narayan. And then when the gopis came to see him, they were not interested at all. And all they could do was question him. We go to chapter and we go to that place where Lord Krishna manifested that. But when the gopis saw Narayan, they had no interest, because they were asking him actually, have you seen Lord Krishna? We're looking for Shyam Sundar. And there's explained in Baruch Goswami and Lalita Madhava that The gopis are only interested in the ecstatic mellow of devotional service, which is established in the relationship, conjugal mellow between the gopis and Sri Krishna. And therefore, when they saw that Narayan, the mood of their ecstatic bhava went down, down, down. So then that's a very important example quoted by Srila Rupa Goswami. And then you also have the point that after that's mentioned, Krishna, he met Srimati Radhika. But when Srimati Radhika came, he was unable to retain those four-arm form. He wanted to keep a four-arm and have a joke with Radharani, but being overwhelmed in her association with all this ecstatic moods and attachment for her, so we understand the supreme power is actually within Radharani. She is the Savalakshmi Mayi, Mahabhav Swarup, Ladini Shakti, Adi Shakti Devi, we worship her completely, Srimati Radhika. So there's no difference between Srimati Lakshmi Devi and Radharani. We're the extension of her encountered countless billions of forms. And today we come here and ask for the mercy of Vaishnavas, Gurudeva, and Srimati Lakshmi Devi, that we can one day attain the strength in her vows. Also, she's giving us a good lesson here. She's teaching us that devotional service has to be very determined. Satatam kirtiyantam mam itantascha dridavrataha namasyanchascha mam bhaktya nityayuktaru pasate. Devotees have to be very determined, follow those vows, always chanting the glories of the Lord, have faith in the transcendental quality of the holy name and the association with Vaishnavas, and very quickly we will be able to progress in the path of spiritual life and render service in a pure way to Sri Guru and Gauranga. Panchakalpatarubhischa Prabhasindhavishcha Paramatma Maharaj ki